Right-wing media is assisting conservative Democratic Senator Joe Manchin in expressing just how much his feelings were hurt by, pesky Joe Biden and all that badgering that he engaged in just to get Manchin to support his Build Back Better agenda. Now, of course, I'm being sarcastic when I mention the badgering because Biden barely did any fighting for his own agenda, barely applied any pressure to the likes of Joe Manchin to get him to vote in favor of the Build Back Better social spending bill. But Fox News reporter Jacqui Heinrich asked Jen Psaki if, there might be some retaliation among those within Biden's administration who hurt poor Joe Manchin's feelings. Let's watch.
We now know that he ultimately pulled the plug in that interview on Sunday because he was upset with White House staff naming him singularly in the Thursday statement from the president. And we've been told about some of his objections to that were shared with the White House. Has the staffer who is, we suppose, responsible for putting his name in there, have they faced any retribution for this or been spoken to about it?
Jackie, I haven't seen all of the comments that Senator Manchin has made on this. I know that there's been reporting on this, but I haven't seen him speak in depth about the specifics of what has upset him. I can dig further if that exists out there beyond the reporting. But what I would tell you is that we have been working with Senator Manchin for months now. The president has known him for years. Many of the White House senior staff have known him for years as well. It doesn't mean that there aren't moments of disagreement or frustration. Of course there are. This is legislating. That's the nature of sometimes how it gets done.
Oh, poor Joe Manchin. Won't anyone think about Joe Manchin's feelings, please? I mean, yes, there's starving Americans out there, people dying on sidewalks because they don't have housing, but poor Joe Manchin's feelings, Cenk.
Yeah, look, there's two elements to the story. One is it gives you an insight into how Washington thinks. Who cares about the voters?
Yeah.
Right? Oh, one of the powerful elites had his feelings hurt for a second by a staffer. So in retribution to that, Manchin killed the entire bill so you can't get the child tax credit or paid family leave or anything else that might actually help your family. And everybody in Washington finds that perfectly normal. Well, of course, if you hurt the feelings of someone who is an elite, millions will have to suffer because he was offended. That is not normal. That's sick, that's depraved. But everyone in the room treats it as perfectly normal question. Yeah, has a staffer been fired for offending one of the elites? It's absurd. And the second part of it is the response.
Yes.
I mean, she's walking on eggshells.
100%. You know what an actual Psaki bomb would be? I'm not even gonna humor you with that ridiculous question. Next.
Or here, I got an answer. I would say, have we punished our own staffer for pointing out that Senator Manchin says the bill is dead? No, we have not punished the staffer for being accurate. And by the way, I mean, his feelings got hurt on a tiny passage. I had to read it 3 times to understand what he took offense at. It was just the fact that his name was mentioned in the context of negotiations. By the way, you know what, guys? His feelings weren't hurt. It's a stupid excuse.
100%.
Why are we having this dumb conversation? The reality is, he did it for his donors, but no one in media is honest. So they're having this insane conversation about, did a staffer hurt his feelings? Should we fire the staffer for hurting the feelings of the elites? His name was mentioned. That's not a thing you get offended by. It's a lie. Joe Manchin is a liar. Here, I just did more news than all of the media combined.
Now, it's rare for corporate media to ever ask follow-up questions, but I commend this Fox News reporter for asking a follow-up question in this context because this is a very important issue. The fragile ego of Joe Manchin is important here, so here's the follow-up.
There's going to be a softer, I guess, approach in dealing with Senator Manchin and some of the other, Democrats in the party who have been very vocal about being disappointed in him. Is there sort of a shift in strategy since this all blew up over bullying?
Well, again, I wouldn't characterize it that way, Jackie, but I would tell you that Senator Manchin is somebody who has won many tough fights in West Virginia. He comes proudly from a coal mining family. He's a pretty outspoken advocate for the things he believes in and the things he doesn't. And I would doubt he's a withering flower on the side of the road.
But he's being bullied, ladies and gentlemen. One of the most powerful men in the world is being bullied.
Yeah, no, guys, it's Alice in Wonderland, man. It's absolutely upside down. So Manchin bullied Biden and said, I'm the president, and if I don't want a bill named after your entire agenda, Build Back Better, that's what you ran your campaign on. If I don't want it to pass, it's not gonna pass. And then he backhands him across the face. And all Washington is talking about was Joe Biden too mean to Joe Manchin.
Right.
And should Joe Biden, I swear to God, this is a real conversation. The reason why it's being asked is because several articles have been written about it. It had a bunch of segments on television about it. Should Joe Biden apologize to Joe Manchin for killing Biden's agenda? Manchin killed Biden's agenda. Why the hell would Biden apologize to Manchin? But in Washington, they're like, now remember, you asked something that the donors did not agree to. They disagree 1%. Apologize. Because they're not asking him to apologize to Manchin. They're asking Biden to apologize to the corporate donors.
Yeah, and look, I think that this is so indicative of everything that's wrong in America today, right? Because as you see from this interaction, and Cenk is absolutely right, this isn't just about one Fox News reporter asking this line of questioning. This is something that's been regurgitated by various members of corporate media, both in broadcast and in print, all week long. Okay, this is just the narrative that they're going with. Oh, what could Manchin do? He was bullied, so as a result, he decided to screw over his own constituents and the American people in general by robbing them of an opportunity to pay far less for pharmaceutical drugs, to have access to universal pre-K, to have access to childcare so mothers can go back to work. Like, what can he do? His feelings were hurt. The fact that they aid and abet that garbage is exactly why conspiracy theories prevail in this country, because who are the ones who are supposed to be fact checking the conspiracy theorists? Corporate media that has lost the trust of the American people. People don't trust the media for a reason, because they don't represent ordinary Americans. They represent the elite, they represent the powerful. The fact that they're concerned about the alleged hurt feelings of one of the most powerful people on the planet right now shows you just how little they take even a second to think about the pain and suffering that ordinary Americans are experiencing today. So look, I get the frustration when it comes to like QAnon and all of that. But can you really begrudge people for not trusting the fact checkers, for not trusting the media, for not trusting in our institutions? They have failed us, and this is the chickens coming home to roost.
Yeah, I'm gonna say one more thing. Guys, I'm now on the warpath. We gotta get a White House reporter. So if you can help out, tyt.com/change, become a member, do whatever else you can, all right? Because imagine if the question was from a TYT report, and the question was, Joe Manchin says that his feelings were hurt because his name was mentioned in a press release, and that's why he's denied the child tax credit, and now 30% of kids in America are gonna go back into poverty. Isn't that the actions of a monster?
Yes.
That it would endanger the lives of millions of kids because his feelings were hurt? I don't know how Jen Psaki would answer that question. But I guarantee you they've never gotten a question like that in their lives. They probably, I don't know that they've ever gotten a single question at the White House for a Republican or Democratic president from a progressive perspective. You want to talk about a Psaki bomb, that whole place might explode. How dare you? Oh my God, this is a reporter challenging the powerful, escort him from the building. Okay, all the reporters are supposed to kiss the ass of the powerful and protect their feelings. This reporter's not protecting the feelings of the powerful. tyt.com/change. We got to make that happen. I want to see them humiliate themselves by saying you shouldn't do reporting and hold the powerful accountable, because they will say it. Thanks for watching the Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.